Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl, here to give another reading for December 2023. I did say in one of the element readings that I would do a medicine wheel spread. It is the same spread that I used for that personal growth reading I did on the 31st of October. So if you haven't seen and you want to go see, well, just look for the one called Personal Growth on the 31st of October. It's the same spread, but it's not the same kind of reading. That was geared for the eclipses and how to handle that change coming around. This is a medicine wheel spread. The true reading of this one is how to work with what you have and allowing spirit to come and help you, guide you to where you need to go. Hence the word medicine. Now it is a wheel because it is round, but it doesn't really look like a wheel when I lay it out because of the way I put the cards, but that's because I have limited space. So it will look a little odd as a wheel goes, but nonetheless it is a medicine wheel spread. It's one that I love to use for, it's good for personal readings, it's good for general readings, and the way that I'm going to be using it is to seek the guidance from spirit, what in the areas of our lives that we need help with. So if it's a psychological, spiritual, emotional, mental, those levels. Okay, now I'm doing like I did with the last readings where I cut more than once. Seems to be a bit of a trend going on with me. But I do want this reading to be a form of guidance. So this is for those of us who are looking for guidance, they're seeking out that inner strength that sometimes it's a little difficult to muster. So I do thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. And those signs, I'm getting ready to put those out soon. But this spread was calling out to me, and I just felt the need to get into it today. So I'm doing what Spirit asks of me. And I ask Spirit to protect the collective and keep us safe, protect me and keep me safe, and to give us the guidance that we need to follow through for the month of December and beyond. I mean, this is timeless, this type of a reading, as it is a circle. The Seven of Wands, here we have that integrity and love. The Ten of Wands, that burden, love being a burden, putting down the burden of truth for the integrity of love. Distancing ourselves, moving on to smooth waters, to put down the burden, and getting that reciprocity, which will give us that drive to move forward and have that discerning quality, bring it up, speaking the truth if we have to, officially if needed, but moving on because of honesty, being honest with the burdens that we have, and holding on to what we believe in the sense where that is in itself the burden, where sometimes we need to put things down and we're not able to do it, not easily anyway, but the truth in that is that we need to put down the burden. And the truth does release us, the truth sets us free. So we have that wanting to put down the burden, and for the sake of love, because we're remembering what love is for us. We're looking back into how we were handled and how we handled others in love. what love is, what love means to us, is what we are asked to pay attention to and reach in deep inside and bring in or bring out that integrity. The theme seems to be with the integrity. I thank you, Spirit, for protecting the collective and keeping the collective safe, and protecting me and keeping me safe. Okay, so we'll start, but I need to make sure that the first card marks the beginning. So I just want to make sure, yeah, you can see that. And I'll readjust if I have to. As I set up the layout at the beginning, and I know me, it always changes. So we'll go around the wheel. And of course, the first card is our psyche. Huh? That psyche, how we deal with things, where we're at. That second card here is all about our emotions. The third card is our mental capacities and how we feel, how we think, what we're thinking of, or what we need to think of as far as the Spirit is guiding us. See, the circle is kind of changing. It's not looking like a circle, but it is a wheel nonetheless. It's all broken up. This is our spiritual side. So we have the first half of the wheel here is our psyche, our emotions, our thoughts, again with spirituality. And we're back to the psyche again, our emotions, our thoughts, back to spirituality. So you see, it's supposed to be a circle, but it's not aiming as a circle. Okay. Now, I won't put the last bit. This is the second layer. I won't put that down just yet. Just want to get a grip on the read itself. And it seems that we have an Ace of Wands and a Nine of Cups. So we're looking for satisfaction, and we're being very creative with our progress. We want to progress. We want to start. We want to go off and do something new, where we want to be satisfied. And that is the aim. This is for December here. We are looking for that satisfaction, and we want it. We're passionate about it. We won't stop. We're not giving up, which is a good thing. And Spirit doesn't want us to give up. Spirit wants us to move on and move forward and keep going. Then we have that Ace again. We have another Ace of Cups, our emotional side. We want to be in a commitment. We want to make an offer. We want to make an offer with love, because this is our queen. She is open. She's open to having and giving and nurturing that love. And this is what we want. See, our emotional levels is all about love here. And it's a forgiveness that is involved too, because of the unconditional love that she brings in. It is to ease the burden, ease the pain, that burden that we saw in the shuffle. Then our mental side is the King of Wands. So our king here is determined, and we're thinking along the lines of everybody involved. This King of Wands, he's the peace bearer. He's the one who, of course, is very passionate too, but he's thinking that, well, of course, he's in the thinking position. So our thoughts are being innovative. We're looking for innovation. We're deep inside. We're going deep inside, most of us. And this is what Spirit wants us to do. Again, it's the High Arcana. So Spirit is saying you need to go in and heal. You need to go in and seek. The wisdom that you're seeking is within. You already know the answers to most of the questions that we think we are asking. It's the questions that we're not asking that we need to seek that wisdom. Okay, we're looking, searching. And that is on a mental level. Here we have our spiritual level is the 8 of Wands. So we want to take action by the moon. It's secretive. It's hidden. And again, this is not just us creating secrets. This is the moon in itself. We just came out of the new moon, so that is a beginning process to build up the momentum. I did mention that in one of the elemental readings, where by the moon, by the new moon, a decision will be taken, a decision to act, or the act of taking on a decision. Again, this is the thought process. And if it is the King of Wands that is in the thought processing, then this is on fairness, on being fair, on healing, on finding the truth or knowing the truth and gaining that wisdom on a mental level, which brings us to the spirituality. We are being guided that way. Again, the hermit is enough to say we're being guided. And the moon in itself is that a sense of emotion, that deep emotion, wanting to take action and knowing that you're ready to take the action and making the decision to move forward. So we'll start again with the second layer here. Now we have the Tower coming down. Again, this is where the wisdom comes in, because this is mental. So for us to have that mental capacity to create the waves that bring down the tower, emotionally speaking, okay, because this is a new beginning in love, making an offer and deciding to make the offer brings down the tower. It creates change. That's what bringing down the tower is all about, is to create change. So we're finding ourselves moving forward, guided spiritually, that we can bring down the tower and have that truth. We saw the King of Swords earlier, so now we have the Queen of Swords, and she is very patient with this. So bringing down the tower isn't just gonna, it's not just, well, it's not that it's not just, it does occur quickly. It's that Uranus, that thunder, that lightning striking, that thunder rumbling, where the shock is where the truth is now revealed. Okay, that, well, it already has been for some and will be for others. And coming up again in January, we will most likely get more truth. But the tower coming down is for truth. It is all about the truth. And then we have the Page of Coins, because that's where the focus is. See, we focus on new beginnings, focus on the potential for that Ace of Coins here. The focus is there. The truth brings us into focus. The shock of change, the shock of our emotions, our mental, our spiritual, our physical, our psyche, all of that brings us back into focus. So we become, well, I wouldn't say reborn, but in some cases, yes, because the tower does that. It puts us on a whole new path, on a whole new perspective. I mean, take it as it resonates. And again, at the bottom of the deck, we have that Seven of Wands to bring back the integrity. That's where the focus is, on the truth. And not just focusing on the truth, but the tower coming down brings us back into that focus. And the deck cracked open to the Chariot. So again, we have Spirit guiding us, making us change direction. And that's what the tower will do. Okay, so overall, we're resetting, if you would like. I mean, we're doing a reset on our position in relationships, what we want, how we want to get what we want, and the drive that brings us to getting it. We're following with with Spirit's guide, because again the moon plays a huge role here. We can look toward the moon in the sense where the moon is a marker. So we had just came out of the new moon. We're just out of it. Second day, I think it was on the 12th. Today's the 15th. So it's the third day. We're into another sign. I did not check. I'm sorry, but I don't want to bring too much of the astrology in because it can, divert. And I just want to focus on what the cards are saying. But if you are inclined to go and look into what house or what sign the moon is in right now, then that is something that will help you on how you are feeling or how Spirit is guiding on what level. Because I know you were in Sagittarius with the new moon, and that is waning now into the next phase. So you may want to look into that. For others, it is just a question of following the moon phase by the next moon, which would be, I wouldn't say which would be, by the end of December, I think it's the 27th, we will have the full moon. And that is where action may or may not be taken on your part. It could be in another month from now with the new moon, because of a new beginning where you will be able to take action. Between now and then, you have to go through the change, go through that breaking down of the tower. That false sense of security is you're coming to terms with it, and you're reckoning with that. Okay, now this is a spiritual level here, and this is like usually the last level. So I'm going backwards now, but I'm not going to do it backwards. I'm just saying that for the gist of this moon showing up, the gist of it is that change is going to bring us back to the beginning, a new beginning. We have it here, and we have it at the very beginning of the read, which is what I'm going to look into now. So we'll see, what is the Ace of Wands representing? We've had the mind games, that Five of Swords. That Five of Swords coming in with the Two of Coins for that imbalance. We're bringing it into balance. All of what we, again, at the bottom of the deck, that integrity, we've gone through it with the eclipses. We know where we stand, or we know now where we stand. We had to come and find out. And this this Knight of Wands is where our enthusiasm, again, that's where the passion comes in. The Ace of Wands here, that enthusiasm, that it's either you were angry enough to bring in a new beginning where you say, you know what, I want out of this. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Or you are realizing that from here on out, I'm going to make changes because of what I've experienced. Again, this is the Ten of Swords, bringing that reality in to check, because it is the ending. And again, the Tower is signified as after all of the darkness that you've been in, or the secrecy that you've been privy or party to, it's now it's unraveled, it's showing, it's out, and your psyche in itself is saying, I'm satisfied, or I will be satisfied when I'm done with this and I'm moving on. I will find my satisfaction because I've had enough of all of this. This is the mind games and the juggling, the player mode, whether you yourself are the player or you've been dealing with a player. But the betrayal here represents betrayal from marriage. This is where the Tower is like, okay, no more. This isn't happening, and your understanding of it. You see, you've come to know. There's nothing that you. Not that there's nothing. You haven't missed anything. You've gone through it with a fine-tooth comb. All of what was planned to take place. And that is where we find that there was a betrayal. Okay, because of the player mode. I say the player mode because it's not necessarily one person. This is where you could find that others were involved because of the Five of Swords here. It's not just one person going through this. This is where you found out the plotting and scheming, and you put a stalemate to that plotting and scheming because the truth has been revealed with the eclipses, and just you finding out because you want to know, not just, but you want to know what is going on, and Spirit has given you all the answers through the readings that you've been listening to, and just your general sense of dealing with others. You know how people behave, you know how they maneuver around you, and you're very aware of that. This is why you're able to come now with, I want a new beginning, I don't want this, I want to start over. Now for others it is a question of reconciling, because there is this reflection here. We're going to look into this next. I just want to see if there's more, because this is, you see, coming to an end of being a player for some. I don't want to be a player anymore. I don't want these one night stands. I'm tired of this. This is a routine I don't want anymore. I want something real. I want a new beginning. I want a fresh start. I want to be in a marriage. You see? For some, this is where I will get my satisfaction. Let's see how that plays out here with the Nine of Cups. What's the Nine of Cups representing? The Magician. So manifesting happiness. You see, from the Nine of Cups, we go to the Ten of Cups. And this is where we're okay. I want happiness. I want my satisfaction. I know what I need to do to get it. I need to start over. I need to do something different. I need to stop behaving like a player for some. And for others, I need to settle down with one if I'm going to be happy. I cannot logically, unless you're really loaded to the teeth and you have no bounds, no boundaries, nothing interrupting, which is not possible because we always have something interrupting or something burdening to deal with. But you cannot have more than one relationship where you're 100%. You would have to share, and in the sharing is where the imbalance comes in. And this is what some of us have recognized, that we need to choose. We can't have it both ways. So the routine here, again, it's medicine. The imbalance that we know has been created on one level spilled over into manifesting happiness, became a routine. It became boring. It became too much of, I don't want this anymore. Like it was an expectation to have it, and we don't want it for some reason. It's being refused. This happiness is, I don't want that. I want it different. I want it in another way. And this is where that Four of Cups comes in. And this is what brings the Emperor to wake up and say, well, you know what? I need a change, because this is not working for me. This manifesting happiness is been overindulgent for some. And this is where the I don't want this anymore comes in. And the change of creating happiness, that manifestation here, creating the happiness and saying, well, I want to be in a relationship. I want to get married. That desire, it's a little difficult, because what we see as happiness in our mind and what we get in reality it's never the same. It's never the same. And this is what we need to accept, that what we think happiness, true happiness is, you cannot possibly have that sense of true happiness without pain and suffering. It just doesn't work. That imagination, it's an imaginary world. If you're thinking that you'll just have the bliss and not the pain and suffering, it just is not possible. This existence is coupled with pain and suffering. When we have the happiness, it goes hand in hand. Again, it's the 10 cups here with the 4 cups here brings that healing. We need to recognize that love is difficult. Even though we know that, okay, once we get it going, it's easy. But we have to go through the difficulty. And this is where the change comes in. Okay, that growth, that evolution, that routine that we don't want to keep going in, we want to change. Well, this is where it will change, because we need to take the responsibility and accept things have changed, accept that change needs to happen for others. Okay, these messages are quite distinctive. The death here, that transformation is what will come of this 4 of Cups, because we have to lift our heads and see that 4th cup that Spirit is trying to give us, because we keep going back into the same routine of relationship. I don't want to be in this relationship, but then we end up with someone new and it becomes the same as the last one, and we're not sure why. But yes, we do know why. It is our attitude. We have to really dig deep down inside to see that truth. What we call satisfaction may very well be overindulgence. What we call happiness, for some, it's not true happiness, because at the end of the day we end up not being satisfied. So how could it be happiness and we're not satisfied? You see, we have to wake up to that. We have to allow ourselves to wake up to that. Now take it as it resonates. If you're going through the changes and you're feeling over the past couple of days where there's a significant shift in your mental, especially in your emotional psyche here, where you feel that you want to get into a relationship, but then you're backing out, or you feel that you want to open up to love, but you don't want to get hurt. If you've been going through that seesaw reaction, that is a good thing. It just means that you're starting to lift your head to see that reality and take that cup. And if you're listening to this, it's because you are seeking guidance from Spirit. And Spirit is just trying to tell us that we need to accept what we have before us before we can make changes and get what we think we want. Again, it comes down to being patient with the change that is upon us. Because it is, with the moon shifting now, especially in December. So the psyche here is, the last time I did this spread, I did not bring out these 2 cards, but I want to do it this time simply because it is for those of us who are really seeking advice and wanting that guidance from Spirit. We are capable of creating our own happiness, is what Spirit is saying. We just have to accept what we have before us, where we are, and who we are with. We have made those choices. We chose that. That is our satisfaction looking at us in the face. We chose to be with the person that we are with. And if for some reason we're not satisfied now with that happiness that we picked, well, it is up to us to take responsibility. That Emperor. Dig deep down. Again, that lesson with the Tower, it is reflected here. Here too, we have the Tower. So we know that change is coming. And in accepting in accepting that where we are is where we put ourselves because we chose, there it is where the change becomes or starts to happen, if it is what I want to say. Because we take that responsibility and we make the effort to lift our heads and see the real reality as to where we are is we put ourselves there. And now with the change coming, because we recognize and because we take the responsibility, and if it is that we don't want to be where we are, it is up to us to say, I want to move on, and actually move on. But that in itself is going to take a little time, and we have that patience, the temperance card. And it's not just about being patient, it is wisdom. It is wisdom, again with the Hierophant. It is wisdom that Spirit is giving us, those of us who are open to it, receiving, allowing Spirit to guide us, not forcing the issue and saying, I want it my way or I'm done. We have to take into consideration the next person and what they want and how they feel about the relationship in itself, where you both are. Because that, for those of us who are working out that relationship situation of I want to be with you, I don't want to be with you, I want to go with someone else kind of thing, breaking up, be careful. Be careful, because how you treat the next person is a reflection on how you treat yourself. And if you're being selfish with yourself, then you're going to be being selfish and hurting the next person, and that's obvious. And if it is that you want to change that, because that is what the Emperor, you see, that's what the Emperor is representing here. Accepting the responsibility, accepting what it is, where it is, and why it is, and how it is, and all of that is, if we are in that mode of acceptance, and then we are taking responsibility. And if we are taking responsibility, then by mere breathing in, we have change coming. And there we have the healing. And that is what brings us back into focus. We're capturing or recapturing what it is we really want. So let's see what the emotional Ace of Cups. See where Spirit is guiding us and saying you need to be open, and you can make a proposal, and you can love yourself, and you should, and in most cases we already are, because this is where we are right now in our feelings. We're wanting to go forward, or we're wanting to make an offer, or we're wanting that unconditional love. I mean, take it as it resonates. It's a lot of, this is for the general. So what is this Ace of Cups representing? Three of Swords. It's funny because we had, I think the Three of Swords was here the last time I did this on the 31st of October. I think that's where it was. Either way, that unconditional love, we're healing, we're remembering, and we're forgiving the betrayals and the disappointments. We're starting over. We're wanting to start over emotionally. We're wanting a new beginning. But the Two of Swords tells us that we have to hold back a little bit, and reflect. And that's what we're doing here. We're reflecting. We're reflecting on what happened, what hurt us, and who we hurt, and the victory of it. See, again, the stalemate comes up. We're put into a position where we must reflect. And that victory is being stopped because of the truth in the change that we want to make. Spirit has given us all of that emotional sense of understanding, being able to recognize the ego, and where the ego came in and brought the hurt. because we want to start something new. You see, we want to make a new offer because of the disappointments that we've had. We want to continue. We're not giving up. And that again reflects on that Ace of Wands, where we seem to, well, we've been through, and we know what we've been through. We know what we've been through. And of course, we're knowing it more and more. We're reckoning with what we've been through. If we've listened to the element readings, we're all reeling in and finding out and putting things into perspective, that I want a new beginning. I want to start over. I don't want this anymore. That's mostly what those readings were projecting, you know, where we come to recognize what happened and how it happened, why it happened, and reflecting more now on what is the next move. How can I get past this, get past and heal, because I want victory. I want to have something. I want to make an offer. I want to be victorious in making my offer. For some. For others, it is a question of just moving on from the disappointment. I want to be more decisive in the choices I make. I want to be a little more careful. And this is where the thoughts on what happened, that disappointment, the loss, what did I lose? If I will lose again, if I will lose more, for some. And for others, again, it is a question of, I just want to get past this. I want to move on and do my own thing. I want, and I will be recognized for the love that I have to offer, because I am seeking out. I am wanting to offer. I'm wanting to get a brand new start so I can have a whole new life with a whole new love, somebody new, a new adventure is what some of us are looking forward to. In respect to going it alone for a time, to be on top, just to say I'm alone, I've done it alone, and I want to be alone, for some. Now let's see where this Queen of Cups comes in, because she is the counter or the reflection of her. And if you are looking at this as, well, I'm thinking about me, I'm thinking about my partner or my ex, or the one to be my ex, because I'm thinking I'm leaving, I'm thinking of breaking up, or I've broken up and I want to see where that reflection is. Well, you are still connected emotionally. Yeah? The hurt and the love is what keeps us connected. And it is with time that we're able to sever when we move on with someone else, or we really move on alone and we take that time alone. So let's see what this Queen of Cups represents. The Eight of Coins. So she's working on, when I say she, the Queen of Cups is that reflection of unconditional love. It's that deep sense of connectivity with your emotions. So if you're deeply connected to someone, then the working process here is what's happening. And we have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups wants to come and is working at coming back to his queen. This is where victory comes in for some, to say, well, they're not going to give up. They want, again, that Ace of Wands. It's the backbone of this entire reading. That first card. That's why I didn't take cards the last time. But here we're going to go a little deeper so we can have fun with this and really get the messages from Spirit, because this is what it's all about. Okay, so we have that King of Cups working on his ego, working on what he really wants, making choices. I keep coming up to this stalemate, you know. But he is holding back. He's not moving forward, not just yet. He's not ready, because he has to go through what he really wants. He has to see and understand all of what he's had and what he's achieved and how he can come back to his queen, because he's looking to make that offer and fix this disappointment. You see? That having too many options is what caused the Tower, or will cause the Tower, if it hasn't already happened. And I know for some it has already happened, and now they're trying to come back to their partnership and saying, well, I really want to be with you. I'm sorry. That is still going on. And if it hasn't happened to you and you are in that type of a circumstance, well, it will come, because the tower is coming down on the ego and as well as on relationships in general. If it is that you are finding yourself stuck and you want to speak out, or you feel that you know your person is working on that, coming back to you because of, you know, it's out there in the ether. It's difficult, huh? It's difficult, but this King of Cups wants to come back in his integrity, and he's working on it. He knows that he's treated you like an option, or is thinking about the options that he's had. And that in itself is making him change his perspective. Now, I say him is because of the King of Cups. It doesn't mean it's just a man. It could be the opposite and say it's the woman. She is thinking about being, having treated her partner as an option and wanting to come back, and recognizing that this is what caused the change in the relationship, and now realizing that a different viewpoint needs to be seen here. We need to see the relationship differently in order for us to have a loving relationship. And of course, we need to have that conversation, and that is where the verbal will take place, and it's very enthusiastic, very energetic. In some cases it's an argument, fighting, and in other cases it's really making the statement, this is what I have to say and I want you to hear me out, and then you can decide if you want to be with me or not. This is what some of us will be saying, but they need to be heard. And this is on an emotional level. So again, it's emotional aggression. This is like, it's really, but it's again thinking, it's thoughts too. It's because of the swords. It's not just words, it's thinking. And again, the thinking here about holding back from speaking, because this is the reflection. This is what I think will happen if I speak out. My partner will just not want to deal with me, and if I do speak out, my partner will want to deal with me for others. But nonetheless, there is work being done here, okay? The love in itself is working, and Spirit is guiding us with this gift of unconditional love from the Queen herself. I mean, you can't have more. This is like all of the love that you could possibly muster is being worked on. And that is where I say the King is having that notion of, I need to go over the things that I did and the options, you know, the choices, and if I have to make a choice, and I will make the choice according to changing the perspective. A choice will be made for those of us who are questioning if my partner is coming back to me and if my partner will take me back. Yes, it can happen. It is a question of how you communicate, and again, the truth. Okay, you have to be really decisive here. Some of us have to wait a little bit more because it was painful, and some of us really want to have the relationship, but we're still hurting emotionally. We're feeling it, and we're angry. We don't want to talk because we're too angry, some of us. Spirit is saying here that this is normal because we are human. We are emotional on both sides. For some of us, it is a question of just reconciling. It is a question of just coming together, having that conversation. And for others, we need to take a little more time. But see, that's where this is where the wisdom comes in. Reflecting off of your emotional, that Two of Swords here. Very intuitive, huh? I mean, I came up to the Two of Cups within when I was pulling out the cards, but I can't pull out every card. It is understood when I see the Two of Cups and then I see the Two of Swords. It is understood, it is intuitive. And that intuition is deep from within, the wisdom here, the mental. Spirit is guiding us. Those of us who are wanting to either come back to a relationship, given that you're taking the time, Spirit is guiding you. Given that you are reflecting on what took place on your portion, Spirit is guiding you. And what you are thinking, Spirit is also guiding you. Because let's take a look. We'll see for the King of Wands, okay? Because our passionate King is also very caring, and he is involved with everybody in the village. And when something goes wrong with one, he knows that all are affected in some way. So he pays attention to each person under his care, under his rule. So let's see, what does this King of Wands represent? Again, the Empress. You see, it's that abundance, that sense of freedom. Again, very spiritual, very intuitive. Again, it is that guidance from going within and reflecting off of what you have done and how you have affected the next person. This is the thought process. Huh? That Empress is thinking about the overall, in general, everybody involved. Even me, I am reflected in this too, in this reading. I am a part of this because I want Spirit to help me, guide me through. So thinking on the level of how to care for everyone, how to care for the person in a gentle way, because that's what she represents. It's gentle. It is not aggressive. The thoughts coming are wanting to make the peace and have that peace between you and the next person is what we are. Most of us, the ones who are coming here looking for answers, in other words, we're wanting to have a peace of mind. We want to create that peace of mind. We want to have that freedom that we can just be who we are and allow the next person to be who they are. This is where justice is coming in. Huh? Spirit is not, again, it's all high arcana, these two. Huh? And a third one, the Chariot. See? Making changing, and really turning life around and saying, you know what? I'm responsible. I did this. I took advantage. I took advantage emotionally with the Seven of Cups here. I created disappointment with the Three of Swords here. We are reflecting on our portion is what we're doing, which is very good. Spirit is willing to help those who are willing to help themselves. We've heard that before. And then we have another high arcana, the High Priestess. Now, you know, we could all say, again, I always bring it up because it is representing of the third party. We have one here, we have one here. We're thinking about another woman. We're thinking about getting caught. We're thinking about how we can maneuver. Well, that is all in the negative. And because the Hermit is here, I'm inclined to say that we want to be transparent with our partner. We want to change the way we have been living or treating our partner. We want to be fair. We want to be gentler because the Hermit is here, given us that wisdom that if it is that you want to have a relationship with a particular party, this is what we have to think of. This is what we have to be. This is how we have to be. We have to be open. We have to allow freedom of choice. Just because I'm with you doesn't mean I can't talk to other people. But it is how far do you go with your conversations with other people? Because talking is one thing. Planning and plotting and scheming, it comes from talking. But if you are fair and gentle and open and free, then you won't need to have that conniving and conceited and mind games and planning and plotting and betraying. You won't need to do that, because people who are free don't have to do that. Those are people who are trapped within themselves. And being transparent and knowing what you're worth and focusing. You see, this is where we realize what we are worth. Again, remembering how you treated your partnership is what this is. This is the thought processing here. The justice is being served. I'm being treated as I was treating. I'm getting back what I was given. If she doesn't want to talk to me again, I'm saying that as a she because it's a king here. This is a male aspect. This is a masculine quality. Whether you are a female or a male is irrelevant at this point, but this is the quality, the yin and the yang. So I'm saying he because he is representative of the masculine quality. And that he made her feel like she wasn't worthy. The disappointment of the queen. And that is the only reason why I'm calling out male and female here. I respect that they are male and female because we are male and female. How you view yourself is as male or female. You take it as it resonates. If you are the male aspect that has been treating your female partner as if she wasn't worthy, well, here it is. Okay, and if it is that you were the female partner treating your counterpart, either male or female, regardless, this is where it's at. You now are recognizing that you need to be more gentle. You need to take that responsibility and suffer the consequence, because your thinking here is that she or he will put you out in the cold regardless, especially if you come now with, I want us to be together, I really love you. You may be thinking that it will not be accepted, that you will be rejected because you rejected your partner. You're thinking it's going to come back to you. It's not quite so, because destiny is focusing. You are focusing. Destiny is on point here. That it will take time. Again, we're reflecting this temperance card in the psyche here, where it's going to take time, and you're thinking along those lines in order to get that forgiveness, because here is the sixth coin reflects here to come into the 6 of coins. Remember the 5 of coins where we were up here, 5 of coins, emotionally feeling that loss, and we need to get to the 6th coin to have that peace. Well, destiny is bringing it, and destiny is bringing it with time, and you believe that. This is a belief that you have. For those of us who want to return to a relationship, you're believing that, or at least you're thinking it, that it will take time and it will happen. That is the confidence that Spirit wants us to have. That's why all these high arcana are showing up here. Okay, we have the Empress, we have the Justice, we have the Chariot, and we have the High Priestess again, and then we have Destiny. So This is spirit guiding us. And you have to allow. It is going to hurt. It's already hurting mentally. You're in there. You're struggling because this is not an easy thing to do, this turn here, to change the way you think. But spirit is guiding it because time is of the essence. And your intuition, you're following it. And spirit wants us to do that. Okay, spirit wants us to follow it and take the time that it will take. And then you will come back, or he or she will come back. Let's see what the hermit has to say here. Again, the devil. Putting a stop on that overindulgence. Putting a stop. You see here that putting out in the cold bit? Again, the devil is here to say there is no more. There is going to be a hold. Nothing is moving. It's going to take a while. Okay? And then the King of Coins. That taking the responsibility. Coming into having that relationship. Because this is the thought process. We're thinking about that we won't get it again. Putting out in the cold is reflecting over here. But with time, that coupling will happen. You see the Eight of Cups comes back. To come back, because it is an 8. It is what goes around, comes around again. With time. And then the truth will be spoken. And it will be healed. And there she is, our Queen of Coins. So we have the counter partnership here. Again, coming back to the integrity, the devil is putting a hold on everything. The devil is saying, no, you have to wait. Time for our King of Coins here, that Emperor, to wake up and smell his own shit as we move forward into changing our lives. Because that is how it works. You have to be saturated with the nonsense that you've lived in order to say, I don't want any more of this. And when it smells really bad, that's when you say, okay, I'm going to clean it up now. And that's what is going to happen. The communication, that commitment, that wanting to have a commitment. The devil is putting a hold on this king from bringing in that commitment. And I say the king, again, it could be a woman, but this is the masculine side here. Because he represents the emperor, the King of Coins. So again, it is about the ego and wanting to be in a commitment. That ego of, I am going to create this and I'm going to be in control of that and etc. is not going to happen, because it is, the Wheel of Fortune is putting a turn on that. It's saying, no. The devil is already saying no. The Wheel of Fortune here is just divine timing that is going to bring this either to going away or coming back. Again, it is a choice that we have, but the thought process is just that it's, I'm destined to, or she or he is destined to move on or come back. Now, if it is there's a truth and a healing conversation with the queen, then it is about coming back in time. Again, in time, it's going to come back. This relationship is not finished. It may feel that it is over, but it is not finished, because it is a question of timing. After a certain time goes by, you may or may not want to speak to the person, and then that again is where the truth will come. And the beginning, a new beginning will start. A new beginning will start. A new beginning will start. Okay? So just know that, again, the process, we must trust in that. The process is about taking the time. So we have the spiritual side now. Let's see what spirit, because this is all about spirit. Spirit is pushing us in the back here. Pushing us and saying, I want you to move forward on this. I want you to do this. Let's see what spirit is telling us here. The 8 of Wands. Oh, let's do it this way. Eight of Wands. Again, it's a new beginning. Page of Swords. I say new beginning. It's an ace in itself. It is a question of understanding. We know we have enough knowledge. Again, that permit is that inner wisdom. These pentacles, the king and queen, these are earth bound, and this is deep knowledge. We are old enough. We have lived enough. We have experienced enough. It's not about going to school and getting a degree. This is about life. This is about experiences. This is about wanting to be in a relationship with another. This is the key here. That's all this is about. Who and when and how and why. Okay, this is what we're looking into here. Spirit is saying here, you know enough, but I'm going to teach you more because I want you to go further. I want you to go forward because of what you love, but you're protecting. You're protecting what you love. You're protecting love in itself. The value of what you hold dear is kept secret here. It's hidden. This is spirit, This is not our thinking and our emotions. This is spirit here. This is what spirit is projecting down upon us and saying, this is where you are and this is what I want you to do. Okay, and I want you to move forward. I want you to take what you know and your passion, and I want you to go into your future, because that is where we're heading with this. Traveling, moving on, communication, passion. Spirit is giving us this and saying, this is where you are. I want you to take this to the next level now. Are you brave enough? Are you brave enough to go in the dark and not know? Take a chance. Are you brave enough to do it? Are you willing? Or are you afraid of your own shadow? What is it that you hold dear? What is it that you value? You are intelligent enough because you have experience. Now you have to make the next step. And that's where the Eight of Swords comes in. We're going around in the mind, going around, having to think it out, having to think it out. Again, this is the swords, passionately too. We're digging deep inside and we're thinking about what it is we really want. Spirit is saying, you have to choose. You have to choose. Because I came out, or at the beginning, I don't know if it was this one or this one, but I remember I was just saying that we cannot give to the two. Where is that? We have to choose one. And what we think is satisfactory is subject to change. There it is, the Two of Pentacles right there. We have to choose. We have to bring in the balance. And Spirit is saying that you have to choose. And you will. We all do. We will all choose because we are all able. We have earned it. We have done the work. See, where's this work here? Eight of Pentacles. Right here. Emotionally. Emotionally. Between the King and Queen. See, King and Queen here. They're working it out emotionally. But not together. This is apart. This is the reflection of. And in some cases, yes, you are working it out. Or you will be working it out once the tower comes down and you've made the choice and you want to speak to each other and you're working together. That's yes. I'm not going to take that away from you. I'm just saying that individually, we're both working it out. We're both internally thinking along the same lines because it is about the relationship that we're wanting to either make amends or begin anew with a whole new person. I mean, it's either you're coming back or you're going away. And from this, I see that we have the possibility. Some of us know that it's not going to happen because of situations, and you each have your own situation and circumstance to figure, well, is it workable or is it not workable? Can we make amends or no? You will know. Each of us knows our situation, and you've done the work regardless if you come back together or not. You've gone through. Spirit is saying here that in making your choice, you've graduated because you are able. You are able. And what is to come is a surprise. What is to come here is a surprise. So let's see, what is the moon? Because Spirit, this is Spirit, huh? Spirit is doing this. Don't forget, this is not me, this is not you. This is Spirit. Spirit is projecting upon us. What does the moon represent? The courage. The courage to step forward and claim that destiny, that legacy, that love, that sharing, that I want to be in a relationship. You will get it if it is that you really want it. Because look, it's the 9 of coins right next to the 10 of coins right here. Making that choice because of the work that you've done, because of the effort that you have put in. There will be a healing. Again, the trust. The trust is a question. But that is a question here that will be answered with the Tower, because it comes right after. There is reciprocity. Again, it comes back to the devil, I think. See, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes, it comes back to the devil. Why? Because the devil is blocking what? This ego. So the surprise is that the ego will be broken. The effort to have that reconciliation will be rewarded. And an offer will come. And your ships will come in. And the clarity will be there. And there's your Ace of Coins. So we can go all the way. See? And the world is going to be an end of a cycle. That is where the Tower will come down. So we'll end it with this, because this is pretty straightforward here. I know online that we've been hearing a lot about surprises. Even I was saying it. You're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised. Well, it's true. The moon is a surprise. We don't know. It's hidden. We can't see. And that in itself is the surprise. But are we brave enough? Yes. We're brave enough to move forward and get and claim that surprise. We want it. What is it that we want? We want to be in a relationship. Those of us showing up here want to have a relationship. We want answers to why is it that our relationships are messed up or have been messed up. What did I do? What did my partner do? Where did we go wrong, etc. But here we have that strength and that courage, that taming of that ego. That is where it all begins. Taming it. That fear of wanting to step forward, of taking that step forward, it's going to be relinquished because Spirit is giving us that. The first thing out is a high arcana, the Strength card. It is guided. Spirit is helping us. Those of us who've done the work, Spirit is going to nudge you on. You're going to heal. But then, what is it you're going to heal? The trust, because there is none. You're feeling like there is, I can't trust this person. That, for some of us, is a given. I can't trust this person. Why am I still interested in somebody I can't trust? This is what some of us are asking. This is what some of us are fearful of, getting into a marriage with somebody we can't trust. But yet we're wanting to go into the marriage. And this is where the confusion is. Again, the Tower will come down and the truth will come out. The reciprocity, this unfairness, this I've not been treated fairly and I don't trust. You see? But Spirit is saying you're going to heal that and the balance is going to come in and the reciprocity will be had. You have to trust Spirit. If you don't trust anybody else, just know Spirit has your back. Spirit has us all. Spirit is guiding us in the choices that we make. Again, we have to choose. right here. It's our choice. But with effort that we have put in, we will get that compensation. What we put in, we will get back. So what we need to do is reflect on what it is that we have done, what is our part, and then we will have that reconciliation if there is to be one. We will be rewarded. We will get that work and effort, that teamwork is going to come around again. We're going to work together again. Okay? There's an offer to be made. Once we get into the motion of I'm working on myself, I'm working on what I've done, I want to make amends, the offer will come. Now, if it is that we don't want to make amends and we want a new offer, well, Spirit will give us that too. But we need to see in ourselves what it is we've done and how it is that we can change. And again, it is patience. If it is that we don't want to go back to the next person, we need to know that we will wait a little bit more. Because somebody new has to come along and they don't just come dropping out of the sky. We have to do something in order to trigger that next connection. Spirit is keeping us in check with that. Because the clarity, the truth, and that abundance, that potential for abundance, the ace. We have all the aces showing up here. So we won't take too many cards on the end here. This is where pretty much a culmination comes in, but we'll just take, I'll take 2 or 3 for each one. We have the Tower. What's this Tower? Page of Wands. So that enthusiasm, that energy it's going to take to bring down the Tower. That spark, that innovation, we want to see the change, so we're making the moves to make it happen. Where that self-doubt and that burden, oh boy, that is what Spirit is going to say, okay, you know what? I've had enough of your suffering. Time for change. And boom, the Tower will come down. Tower will come down. There has to be a change. If it is that we are bucking and blocking and saying, no, I don't want to let go, that's where that devil comes in. Those of us who say, I'm not letting go of this, I'm holding on to what I have. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight this. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to do what I can. See that that ego, we don't want to let it go. We don't want to let it go. But that Wheel of Fortune is just going to turn, and what your efforts have done brings in what you deserve. And if it is that you or the next person has done the negative, somebody's going to leave. And if it is the opposite, where you've done the positive, then somebody's going to come back. Okay, and if you will heal, because that is a conversation that will take place. If there will be a conversation, because some of the readings I did for the elemental, some of us, I don't know if it was in that. No, sorry. I'm mixing it up with one of the lessons, because I know in one of the lessons I did say that some of us are too afraid to speak. It's too heavy. It's too much. We're going to walk away. We won't have the conversation. But we're thinking about it. You see, we're thinking about talking and healing with this queen. That king, he's thinking about it. That ego, to bring down the burden. Get that self-doubt and that fighting out of the way. That I can't do this. I don't know if I can. They're not going to like. They're not going to want. That negativity is coming down. Courage is here. Spirit is backing us up. Those of us who really want, those of us who've done the work on both sides. Let's see what this Queen of Swords represents. Keep doing it backwards. Queen of Swords. See, the 9. It's all about endings. We have a 10 here. We have a 9 here. 9 of Swords. This is anxiety, the truth. And then her sword here makes the 10 swords. So the truth is coming out. There is no more. Because we have a new beginning. You see, the Queen of Wands. All the truth about that third party. all the truth and that devotion and that determination. Again, with the Queen of Swords here, she will take nothing but the truth. She's determined. But what is it that's being talked about? That is where the healing, and this is where the Tower is coming down. Because of the third party situation, we will recognize the third party is here. The truth is coming out. Again, see? The King of Swords. Making a judgment. Saying, no. This is where it was. This is how it was. This is why it was. And this is where I want to go. Focusing on the future. Focusing on what can be. Let's see. That page. What's this Page of Swords representing? The Page of Cups. So we have that forgiveness to go off into smooth waters, end the cycle. There we go. Standing in integrity. Kings and queens, you're coming together with your king and your queen. If it is so that you do want, Spirit is bringing that back for you. Those of us who think they're never going to take us back will be pleasantly surprised. Accordingly, if you've done the work, there is a catch to the surprise. The work has had to have been done. And Spirit will know. Spirit will say, yes, this person, you want them back. Because you are allowing, you're following your intuition. That discerning, that emotion, that conversation, that changing, that stopping, that putting people in a position where they have to choose is what Spirit is doing. That's what those eclipses brought us. But you will go off into smooth waters, one way or another. Those of us who are seeking the answer to, am I going to be alone? Only if you choose to want to be. Am I going to be with a partner? Only if you do the work necessary to keep the partnership. It is just very simple, but very arduous, very long, very slow in a process. Because we have to do it properly. We have to do it right. And Spirit will take nothing less, like the Queen of Swords. She will have nothing but the truth about what took place. She needs to know. I say she, but he as well. If it is the opposite, where it is a woman who needs to come back to her man, or a woman to a woman, or a man to a man. It is your situation. You decide. I'm just going to tidy up here. And what I'm going to pull next is our Woodland Warriors as the Oracle deck that I will use for this read, this medicine wheel. It is because I want to keep the balance, neither male nor female. The only distinction between male and female are in my cards, okay? And then you decide if you fit with the male or female. And then the oracle messages are coming from nature, from Mother Nature, from the animals that Spirit has put on earth to help us. Okay, these messages, this is where it is purely medicinal. This is where nature feeds us the answers to how we should maneuver, and any advice other than, I mean, all of this is about advice from what Spirit is projecting down upon us that we need to pay attention to. Well, let's see what the oracle message is. I thank you, Spirit. What is the oracle message for this medicine read? To help us follow your advice. What is the message? Advice for the advice. Let's see. Getting real creative with my readings. Well, we have to go into the darkness. For sure we have to go into the darkness. You see the color here is very dark. So this is very internal. And we have the eel and the iris. For safety, we need to know that Spirit has us. Spirit is protecting us. We are safe. We have to feel that okay, we were hurt. And this is, some of us were pulverized emotionally. And that's as the relationships go. It hurts. It really, really hurts. And you're confused, and you're angry, and you're upset, and you've put so much effort into having the relationship, only to find that it's just the rug is pulled out from under you. You don't feel secure. Well, Spirit is saying you have safety. You have to go a little deeper inside to feel that safety. And then we have the moth and the eucalyptus. Well, for us who do know a little bit about medicine, the eucalyptus is very healing. It's very healing. And some of us have to leave the situation. It's an ending. Regardless, there is an ending. There is safety in an ending. Again, some of us have to go away from those of us who are not interested. And forcing that issue will only bring hurt. Okay, there is safety there. Those of us who were really, really hurt, we need to turn and accept that what has happened for our safety, for our protection. Spirit has taken us away, or taken some from others, taken some of us away from others of us, in order to keep that balance where you don't deserve to get more than the hurt that you received. If it was really bad for some, and it is really bad in your mind, how someone else may view your suffering is, oh, that's nothing compared to what I have, or what I've seen, or what others have gone through. But for you personally, it hurts. And this is where Spirit is saying you need to go a little further inward. Pay attention to your portion. If it's all you can do to find that peace, to feel safe. The eel and the iris. That is a 62. Let's see. There it is. Safety. Eels are furtive creatures, often burying themselves in the murky depths. The idiom "slippery as an eel" refers to the eel's ability to escape harm. The iris is the tall, hardy flower from which the fleur-de-lis, a medieval symbol of power and victory, is derived. Together, the stealthy eel and the mighty iris indicate safety in our homes, relationships, and work. So I'll read the upright. Now is a good time to establish healthy boundaries. If others take offense, do not fret over their reaction. Stand firm in your power like the iris. Again, your safety. You need to step back. You need to put a boundary. You need to let Spirit do the work for a little while. You need to be a little patient. Take the time that you need to think it out, process, focus. What is it that you really want? Again, this will always be the answer. What is it that you really want? Because it is all about what you really want at the end of the day. So we look at the ending here, the moth and the eucalyptus, and this one is number 13. Again, it comes back to the transformation. That's nice. Let's see how that reads out. So an ending. The moth and eucalyptus is at number 13 for a reason. It mirrors the meaning of the death card in a traditional tarot deck. The death card rarely indicates literal death, but rather marks an ending of some kind and provides us with the knowledge and power to let go. The moth shown here is the death's head hawk moth, named for the unique skull-like marking on its back. The death's head is nocturnal, and like all moths, it flies around the light. Eucalyptus is a symbol of protection, as the oil from this plant can be used to guard against this and soothe a variety of ailments. I'll read the upright. An ending is imminent. This could mean the end of a relationship, a hobby or interest, a job, or any number of other things. While endings sometimes mark loss, they don't always, and even if we do experience grief, we have the power to emerge from it with a better understanding of ourselves. So again, for some of us, the relationship that we were in is over. Saw the death card, you know. I don't remember which one now. I think it's here. No, this is the devil. And it's probably up here. Some of us are really at the point of, I don't want to be in this relationship and I'm not going back. If you know that, then your answer is clear. You need to move on. And you will. Yeah, the death card is in one of these. Just don't remember which one. And I did see it. Okay, I can't stop looking. But either way, that is just a transformation. Okay, you see this putting out in the cold here? Some of us can't get over that, and with reason. I mean, it's done once and it's doable again. And if it is this person has this habit of just ousting you or just turning away and walking off, like they call them runners and chasers in other readings, if that is the case, then you know Spirit has your back and you will have a surprise of a new beginning with a new partnership. Just give yourself that time. And with that, I thank you for showing up, for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I'm about to do the all signs for the month of December. Until our next medicine wheel read, love and light.